Checked.
Hey guys, welcome back to other games tutorial. I'm sorry because another part of the blind quest I doesn't make a commentary because I'm using Audacity, and today I'll continue the part 5 of blind quest 3.
Home. Pane. Home tab. Details button show. Tree list. Preview start of docket downloads. Items view list. Backup codes to M2082.9.ta inverted. Downloads. Blind quest 3. Items view selected. Item blind quest. The ID queen data 405. Blind quest. The ID queen.x105.
By the way, I'm sorry because the last ghost I already
Welcome to Blind
and
Quest, the Ivy Queen.
when I want to pause the recording, I
Press
check
the space bar to
the recording
continue
error
a
doesn't
previous game. Press
record.
Control to start a new game.
Press
It show
tab to
an
test
error.
the battle.
Press C key
So-
to listen to the credits. Press
I'm sorry, guys.
Escape to exit the current
Let's
game.
find the
Ops 29. Home column 3 of settings column 4. Blind quest. The ID queen column 5. Speech mode off.
You have reached beginning of the desert of the shadows.
find the the thing that we need.
Saving point. You set to pyramid, to lake, to the crossroad, something. The cracked cliff, to the crossroad, to lake, to saving point, to shadow farm. You shadow. The shadow farmer says to Nathan that he needs 3 more ingredients for the recipe: sand basilisk, tree resin, and dead rose. The sand basilisk lives to twin dunes.
Oops.
Shadow. The shadow farmer says to Nathan that he needs 3 more ingredients for the recipe: sand basilisk, tree resin, and dead rose. The sand basilisk lives in the silver sand, and the dead rose can be found near the rocks. You one rope, 1 hook, 4 1 emerald, 1 mast, 1 red ink, 3 ghost, 3 desert, 1 steel, 1 dead rose, nothing.
Now the rose we already have.
You opened your to the beginning of the shadow farm.
Let's go to
You have reached to shadow farm, to pyramidal dune, to lake of sand.
I think here.
You have silver, saguara, bar, leather, to the rock, to skull-shaped stone, to the beginning of the You have grace, made of limestone rock. It's big. Pink, blue, green huts, to lake of, to petrified root, grey, skull-shaped, to You have petrified. The roots are growth to skull-shaped, petrified to.
I think here.
You have to petrified root to lake of. You have to the beginning of to skull to the rocky leather pout to barrel saguar silk to the beginning to skull to silk thanks to his extra to skull-shaped stones to the rocky plain. You have bull skull, cactus, abandoned notebook, hoof track to lake of bull skull, cactus, up notebook, hoof to lake of sand, bull skull
Not here.
to the beginning of the. You have reached to shadow farm, to pyramidal to lake of sand. You have reached pyramid dead horse sand sand dune. The ghost has disappeared. Dead leather pyramid to the beginning to the obsidian to the destroyed sank dead horse to the
I think it's obsidian.
You obsidian cactus, small obsidian tree, tall, flat, To pyramidal, to the burned met, to tangle of
I think here.
You have reached tangle of petrified snakes, silver sand. Nathan finds a small patch of silver sand. At first the sand seems to support him, but soon the mercenary begins to sink. Something under the sand emerges, taking Nathan out of the sand too. It's a sand basilisk. The battle begins.
This.
Sand basilisk. Enemies fast attack. Enemies heavy attack. Study enemy movements. The enemy's combo starts. Defend yourself.
Oops.
57. Damage suffered. Nathan eel. 30. Damage done. Study
Just
enemy
press
movements.
down arrow multiple times.
The enemy's combo starts. Defend yourself. Zero. Damage suffered. Attack. 30. Damage done. Study enemy movements. The enemy's
Left,
combo
left,
starts.
left.
Defend yourself. Zero. Damage suffered. Attack. 30. Damage done. Study enemy movements. The enemy's combo starts. Defend yourself. Zero. Damage suffered. Attack. Victory!
Yeah, victory.
Nathan gets gold. 30. Nathan gains experience points. 2,500. Nathan gets dead sand basilisk. Basilisk fang. Basilisk scale. Press control. Silver sand. Thanks to his extraordinary strength and tenacity, Nathan manages to get out of the deadly trap of the quicksand. Petrified, some fossilized snakes sprout from the sand. They are huge. Tent. To the obsidian silver sand.
Yep, now we're going to take the
You have
3
reached
reason
moldy portal. Obsidian. Small.
from
to
the
pyramid.
living forest.
To the destroyed sanctuary. To the obsidian. To the beginning of the... You have... To shadow farm. To pyramidal deep. Saving point. Tumbleweed. Cactus. The... Some... To the... The lake of sand. To the cross...
Here we're going to...
You have... To the beginning of the desert. To the entrance. To the red cave. To the square. To the willow feet. Floating stone. Desert man. Sack. Desert. A man with sunburnt skin. Nathan asks if he knows where the Grey Witch lives. The man tells him, sack, strain, niche, miles, bolts, saving, to the beginning of the desert, to the entrance of the living...
Yep, here.
You saving point. You say will-o'-the-wisp, a live tree. Saving will. A cold blue flame floats in midair. Its branches try to hit Nathan. Its branch... Robin. A robin peers solemnly at Nathan. A robin fairy. Tiny girls with dragonfly wings watch Nathan from the trees. Tiny girls with dragonfly wings watch Nathan from the trees. To clearing of the emerald wood. To giant fir.
Let's go here and try...
You have reached giant fir. The red bark of the tree moves as if it's breathing. A trickle of fresh resin descends between the folds of the wood. Nathan takes some resin. The red bark of the tree moves as if it's breathing. The resin is now solid.
Okay.
Pink-haired fairy. A fairy with pink-colored hair flies among the moving branches. He seems to be training. Small. To patch of coniferous. To patch of... To the entrance.
Now we are going to
You have... To the crossroad.
the shadow farm.
You have set... Bolt. Niche. Strange. Sack. Desert man. Floating to the willow, to the square, to the red cave, to the entrance of the living, to the beginning of the desert.
Speech mode beeps. Speech
You
mode
have reached
023. Speech mode
beginning
beeps.
of the
Speech mode
desert of the shadows.
It's 12:23 a.m.
Saving point. To lake of, to the cross, something. The cracked sign, cactus, tumbleweed. Saving to shadow.
Yep, here.
You shadow farmer. The shadow farmer prepares the potion in the distiller and gives you the shadow blend. Nathan thanks the man. He replies that creating spirits is one of his favorite pastimes.
Thank you, shadow farmer.
Shadow farmer. A strange man to twin dunes to the beginning of...
Let's go the obsidian.
You have reached to pyramid to lake of sand. Sagua barrel to the rocky to skull to the beginning of the desert of the shadows.
I think not here.
You saving to pyramidal dune to shadow farm. You have dead sand, dead tree, leather pyramid to the beginning of to the obsidian clearing. You have tall, flat obsidian tree.
Let's interact with this thing.
A flat black rock tree. It is as thin as a sheet of paper, and the surface is so smooth that Nathan can see himself in it like a mirror. A flat black rock tree. It is as thin as a sheet of paper, and the surface is so smooth that Nathan can see himself in it like a mirror. A flat to the burned meadow.
I think no,
You have
we cannot
reached
do this
to the
yet.
destroyed sack, to the obsidian clear, to the beginning pyramidal, to
Now we're going
you
to
have to shadow farm, sit tumbleweed, sit to lake of sand, to the crossroad.
Lake of Sand.
You have to the beginning, to skull, to the rocky leather path, to skull.
This.
You have to petrified root.
Here.
You have reached petrified roots, petrified roots. The roots are reminiscent of snakes that were petrified as they were crawling. Growth rings, to skull shape, growth rings.
Here we go.
Nathan pours the shadow blend into the center of the petrified wood floor. The liquid expands on the smooth surface, and every circle that is touched by the potion glows with blue light. The mercenary leaves the petrified trunk to avoid hindering the summoning. A blue smoke fills the area. The petrified wood trunk gives off such a strong light that Nathan has to cover his eyes. When the light finally goes down, Nathan finds himself in front of a huge tree with a ghostly air. You have petrified roots, ghost, to skull, the roots are reminiscent of snakes, the ghost oak. The huge ghost tree is in front of Nathan. Around the plant, the desert light seems dimmer. The mercenary decides to study the strange tree. The huge ghost tree is in front of canopy. The ghostly canopy moves hypnotically. The leaves are giving off a light blue light. Higher trunk. The bark is grey and full of cracks. They emanate a blue light. Lower trunk. There is a little door. It leads inside the tree. Branches on the right. They sway, even if there is no wind. Branches on the left. They sway, even if there is no wind. To skull-shaped, petrified root, ghost oak, canopy, higher trunk. The bark is to the upper. A tunnel proceeds inside the tree. The walls are smooth. It was created through magic. A strong smell of lymph permeates the air. You have reached Upper Roots Tunnel. Ledge in the wood. Nathan risks hitting his head against the hardwood. There's a ledge in the wood. Nathan risks hit lymph. Streams of lymph flow over the walls of the tunnel. Creepy decoration. A decoration made with bird's bones and black feathers hangs from the ceiling.
You. Yes.
It nails the witchy look of the ambience.
Thanks, David.
Runes. Some runes have been painted on the wall with a purple substance. To the ghost oak. To 10 feet. Ledge in the wood. To 10. The tunnel gets darker and cooler. Some mushrooms grow on the walls. You have reached 10 feet underground. Ledge in the wood. Nathan risks hitting his shoulder against the hardwood. There's a ledge in the wood. Nathan risks bird skull is hanging from the ceiling. Creepy. Niche. A natural niche was formed in the wood. Inside, Nathan finds a potion.
What potion is this?
You 1 iron bar, nothing. 1 heal, 1 4 1 rope, 4 1 mask, 1 shadow blend, nothing. 1 shadow blend. A coffee-colored potion. Your back pale mushroom. 10. Nathan wonders if they are alive. By mushroom standards, anyway. Nathan to the Upper Roots Tunnel. Ledge in the birds. Niche. Pale to the Upper Roots Tunnel. Ledge in the wood. To the Upper Roots. The tunnel goes deeper. The temperature drops more and more. Nathan starts getting cold.
To upper root.
You have reached
tap one time.
20 feet
It doesn't
underground.
say anything. That you need to press and you'll go down.
Ledge in the wood. Nathan risks hitting his side against the hardwood. There's a ledge in the wood. Lymph. Streams of lymph flow over the walls of the tunnel. Creepy decoration. A decoration made with bird's bones and black feathers hangs from the ceiling. Runes. Some runes have been painted on the wall with an orange substance. To 10 feet underground. Ledge in the wood. The tunnel goes deeper and deeper and becomes darker. Vaporized breath comes out of Nathan's mouth. You have reached 30 feet underground. Ledge in the wood. Nathan risks hitting his head against the hardwood. There's a ledge in the wood. Lichen. Strange blue lichens on the wood. Lymph. Lymph drips from the ceiling. To 40 feet. Ledge in the... To 40...
Yeah, this.
The tunnel is completely dark. Nathan hears a low chanting coming from further on. You have reached ledge in the wood. Nathan risks hitting his head against the hardwood. There's a ledge in the wood. Runes. Some runes have been painted on the wall with a phosphorescent substance.
I think I'll explain later. Basically, you need to examine those things. I'll mute my mic for a while.
Speech mode off. Blind quest 3.
During the fight,
Ops 29.
when the
Ops virtual
enemy
camera
attacks,
input. Set
he
exit. Watch
starts
check
a
box. Not check.
combo.
Audio volume music slash check
At
box.
the
Not check.
start of
Check.
the enemy's turn,
Blind
you
quest.
will
The
have lymph chanting. Lymph. Streams of phosphorescent lymph flow over the walls of the tunnel. Chanting. The voice is feminine. It must be the witch. The voice is to liken witch vault. Chanting. To liken witch vault. The tunnel ends in a small circular room. Everything is immersed in darkness, and Nathan can only glimpse a human figure standing in front of him. You have reached Lycan Witch Vault.
Ops 20 properties. Music slash check box checked. Not checked. Properties for desktop audio button. Volume music controls window. Pause recording checkbox not checked. Scenes window. List. Sources window. Audio mixer. Scene transitions with duration spin but and controls window. Start streaming checkbox. Stop recording checkbox checked. Blind quest.
Grey Witch to 40. Grey Witch.
Here is this guy who's steal the IV seal.
A half-naked woman covered only with black feathers and bird's bones. Her skin is grey and her eyes are red. The woman looks at Nathan with an amused smile. In her left hand is the ivy seal. Nathan attacks the witch. With a precise strike, the mercenary tries to cut off the witch's left hand. But the blade passes through the woman's thin wrist as if it were not there. The Grey Witch mocks him. She is immortal. She cannot be killed by a sword. The woman says a magic formula, and the mercenary is thrown by an invisible force out of the ghost oak. Nathan has to find a way to defeat her. You have reached petrified root to skull shape, branches to skull. You have to the ghost oak, to lake of sand huts, to
You need to go to the place again.
you have to the beginning of the desert. Stump cactus, the some to lake of to pyramidal dune, to shadow. You have shadow. A strange man with completely black eyes is arranging the earth with to twin dunes to the beginning of
Not here.
you to shadow to pyramidal dune to lake to you to the obsidian.
Here.
You obsidian tall flat to pyramid flat, a tree made of flat black rock. Nathan smashes the tree.
Examine again.
To broken flat obsidian tree. A broken tree made of flat black rock. Under the tree there are some obsidian fragments that look like mirrors. Broken flat obsidian tree.
Try again.
A broken tree made of flat black rock. A broken tree made to pyramidal.
Let's go to the witch place again.
You have to the destroyed, to the obsidian, to the beginning, pyramid, to the saving point. You to pyramidal, to lake of. You have to the beginning of to skull shape, to the rock, to.
Here we're going.
You have grey skull shapes, pink, blue, green, hot, to lake of. To the ghost oak.
Come
Some
here.
ancient petrified roots cover the ground. The roots gather at a gigantic oak. The cracks on the bark of the tree give off a blue light, and the leaves also glow of the same color. You have reached petrified ghost oak and high to the upper roots. You have reached ledge in the Nathan lymph. Lead. A ray of colored light shines from the fragment of the mirror, and flows along the entire tunnel. Array of color, lymph, lymph, streams of lymph, a rune, some rune, to the ghost oak, to 10 feet.
I'm sorry because I'm pressed control
You have
too
reached
fast.
10 ledge in the wood. Nathan remembers the ledge. He positions the piece of mirror on the wood so that it reflects the light projected by the previous piece of mirror into the tunnel. A ray of colored light shines from the fragment of the mirror and flows along the entire tunnel. Birds, niche, pale, to the upper roots tunnel. Ledge in the wood. You have reached ledge in the wood. Nathan remembers the ledge. He positions the piece of mirror on the wood so that it reflects the light that comes from outside into the tunnel. A ray of colored light shines from the fragment of the mirror and flows along the entire tunnel. To 10 feet under rune. To 10.
Try again. Another one.
You have reached 10 feet underground. Ledge in the wood. You have reached 20 feet underground. To 10 feet rune. To 10 feet ledge in the wood.
This also don't have.
You
It
have
doesn't
reached 30 feet underground. Ledge in the wood. Nathan remembers the ledge. He positions the piece of mirror on the wood so that it reflects the light that comes from outside into the tunnel. Streams of lymph flow over the walls of the tunnel. Streams of lymph flow over the walls of like ledge in the wood. Streams of lymph flow like strange blue lymph to 40.
Here.
You have ledge in the wood. Nathan remembers the ledge. He positions the piece of mirror on the wood so that it reflects the light that comes from outside into the tunnel. Runes. Ledge in the wood. Various feathers decorate the room walls. Runes. Some runes have been lymph. Chanting. The voice is to liken witch vault.
Here's the best part.
You have reached lichen witch vault. Grey witch cauldron. Black flame. Feathers. Various lichen. The walls are to 40 feet light. The walls are covered in blue lichen. Grey witch.
Here we go.
The Grey Witch looks scared. Nathan uses the blade of his sword to reflect the colored beam of light onto the woman. When the witch's skin is hit by light, it starts to burn. In a few moments, only ash remains. Cauldron. Grey Witch. The Grey Witch looks scared. Nathan uses the blade of his sword to reflect the colored beam of light onto the woman. When the witch's skin is hit by light, it starts to burn. In a few moments, only ash remains. Nathan inspects the ashen remains of the witch. He finds the ivy seal. With the witch now dead, the tunnel begins to tremble. Nathan escapes towards the exit, while the wood tunnel closes like a healing wound. You have reached Ghost Oak. Petrified. Ghost. A canopy. Higher. Lower. Branches. To skull. Petrified. You have
Now
to the Ghost Oak. To Lake of Sand.
we are going to.
You have to the beginning of the. You have reached to Shadow Farm. Saving point. To Pyramidal, to Lake of... to the crossroad.
To the
You have reached
arena place
to the
first.
beginning, to the end, to the beginning,
To the
to the
podium.
entrance
Go
of the
on.
living, to the red cap, to the square, to the... You have to the royal palace, to room, to the entrance of, to the port, To the cross, to the arena. You have to the second, to the final. You to the first, to the podium. You have Ivy Queen. The Queen is passed out. The Queen is passed out. Alchemist. The man tells Nathan that the Queen will be brought back to the palace. So, Alchemist. Ivy. The man tells Nathan. Ivy. To the final banner. To the. You have to the first ring. You have to the second. To the final. To the square.
To the square.
Merchant. To the royal.
The royal palace.
Conjurer. A conjurer do. Beautiful wall. Ivy bushes. To the palace hall. The ivy bushes are now empty. To the palace hall. To the throne room.
Let's go
The
here.
throne room is eerily silent. Nobles and damsels watch the empty seat with apprehension, as news spreads that their queen is under the influence of a curse. The queen lies unconscious on the throne. Nathan arrives and hands the ivy seal to the old alchemist. The man puts the bracelet on the queen's wrist. The woman wakes up. The alchemist explains Nathan's accomplishments to the queen with far too much emphasis. The woman is struck by the courage of the man and declares that she will marry him immediately. But Nathan is a free spirit and has no intention of getting married. As he is surrounded again by the guards, however, he realizes that the queen does not care about his opinion. Nathan is dragged into a room to wait for the wedding preparations to be completed. You have reached damsel's room.
Now.
Draperies hooked to the ceiling. They devour. Damsel Ariel. The girl smiles candidly at Nathan, and she shows him the flower she is watering, a pansy. She tells Nathan she would like another blue flower to put next to it. The girl smiles. Bed. On the bed there is an elegant suit. It's for Nathan. Nathan absolutely does not want to get married. He has to find a way to escape. Loom for weaving. Weaving is considered the perfect pastime for a court damsel. Spindles. Spindles used to spin the wool. Silk cushions. Some red silk cushions are scattered on the floor. They look cozy and expensive. Dolls collection. Some dolls are arranged on a bed. Their empty glass eyes seem to creepily follow Nathan's
nearly
every movement.
1 o'clock here.
To the main corridor. You have equestrian statues. To the greenhouse. To the damsel's room. A circular room big enough to be divided into several small bedrooms by wood, and richly ornamented with floral motifs in their fretwork and overlays. A sweet perfume hangs in the air. You have draperies. To the main the girl smiles candidly at Nathan, and she shows him the flower she is watering, a pansy. The girl smiles. Bed. On spindles. Draperies hooked to the ceiling. Damsel Ariel. Bed. To the main. You have equestrian. To the to the damsel. To the winery. To the palace hall. Windows. You have wooden cabinet. To the library. To the main corridor. Guard. Ivy. Guard. The Queen's guard blocks Nathan's way. He says that the betrothed cannot leave the palace. Maybe there's a way to make him let his guard down. The Queen's guard blocks Nathan's way. He says that the betrothed cannot leave the palace. Maybe there's a way to make him let his guard down. Nathan notices that the guard looks with interest at an empty wine bottle, abandoned on one of the tables. Ivy, plant saving carpet, wooden to the library, to the main guard. Ivy, plant saving carpet, wooden to the wooden cabinet. Such a showcase of glass flasks, bowls, pots and cups. To the library, to the main guard. You equestrian, to the damsel, to the wine, to the palace hall. Western, the rack is full. Eastern, to the main equestrian to the greenhouse.
Let's try go there. This. I mean here.
Bloody soul bush, a bush full of big red berries. Nathan took what he needed. Tables, long table, found in an angle. Rack, a wooden flower, a long row of flower plants, planted directly in the soil on the floor at the base of the wall. A long row of flower plants, planted directly in the soil on the floor at the base of the wall. So many colors, shapes, and scents, they make Nathan feel a bit dizzy. To the main bloody soul book, to the
I'm sorry guys.
You have equestrian, to the winery, to the damsel. Draperies, hooked to the girl smiles candidly at Nathan, and she shows him the flower she...
Speech mode deeps. Speech mode talk.
During the fight, when the enemy attacks, he starts a combo.
Blind quest.
Bed.
Start virtual camp. Start
Alright,
scene.
guys,
Break transition combo. Audio mixer window. Sources window. Scenes window. Controls window. Pause recording checkbox not checked. Not checked.
Alright guys, I'm back.
Blind.
Loom, spindles, silk, dolls, to the main draperies. Damsel Ariel. The girl smiles candidly at Nathan. Drapery, to the main You equestrian, monster, concubine, window, to the palace, to the wine, to the dam, to the green, equestrian, monsters, equestrian statues, big monster, rock, concubine, small windows, concubine, small wind, along the, to the palace hall, to the winery, to the dam, to the green, equestrian statues, to the palace hall. You have wooden carpet, saving plants, ivy and guard. To the main corridor.
I think I'm gonna check again what's wrong. I cannot find the actual thing.
Ops 20. Scenes window. Controls window. Pause recording checkbox not checked. Not checked. Blind quest.
Let's try
Wooden
this.
carpet, saving plants, ivy, guard. To the main, to the library. You paintings. To the palace hall, shelved. To the library, shelved. You oak wood scribe. The scribe embraces Nathan. He saved the queen. Nathan's clothes are now stained with ink. Nathan remembers with nostalgia the times when he faced undead kings and ice demons. Maplewood scribe. The scribe embraces Nathan. Maps, book, goddess, to the library. You have to the library, to the palace hall. You have to the library, to the main corridor, You have equestrian statue, to the green, to the to the wine, to the window, monster, equestrian to the greenhouse, to the damsels, to the wine, to You take flower plant. A long row of flower plants planted directly in the soil on the floor at the base of the wall. So many colors, shapes, and scents. They make Nathan feel a bit dizzy. A long row to bloody soul boot to you equestrians to the Greek, to the dam, to the wine, to the palace hall, to the damsel. You have draperies, to the main dolls, silk, spindle, silk, some dolls, spindle, loom, weaving is bed, on the bed, damsel. The girl smiles candidly at Nathan, and she shows him the flower she is watering. A pansy. You opened the inventory. You opened the inventory page. Well, you have saving point. You saved the game. 1 steel. Nothing. 5 mirror. Nothing. 5 mirror piece. 1 shadow blend. You opened the menu page. Your something. Beginning to Lake of Sand. You have silver to skull shape to the rocky. You have gray, pink, blue, hot to lake to the ghost oak. Gray.
059.
Some ancient petrified roots cover the ground. The roots gather at a gigantic oak. The cracks on the bark of the tree give off a blue light, and the leaves also glow of the same color. You have petrified ghost, a can of high to branch to the upper root. You led Nathan to the ghost oak. To 10 feet. You have ledge in the wood. Nathan. To the upper root. Ledge in the wood. You have ledge in Nathan. You have to 40 feet.
Let's try this.
Ledge in the Nathan. Various feathers. To lichen which you have ledge in the wood to 40 feet. You have ledge in the to lichen which gray called gray. The Grey Witch looks at Nathan with an amused smile. In her left hand is the Grey Witch looks at Nathan with an amused smile. In her left hand is the ivy seal. Nathan cannot deal with her in close combat. To 40 feet. You have to liken with legend, chanting. To liken which.
Let's try this again.
You, to 40 feet. You have ledge in the wood. To rune.
1 o'clock.
Oh
You
my.
have ledge in the wood. To the to the upper root. You have to 10 feet underground. Ledge in the to the ghost. You have to skull shape.
Let's try this again.
You have to the ghost oak. Grey to Lake of Sand. You silver sand to skull to the rocky to the beginning of to leather to the rocky plain. Bull to lake hoof tract to
I think it's not here.
you have to the beginning of you to shadow to pyramidal saving to lake of you have to the obsidian. You have moldy portal For to tangle up to the burned. To pyramid. Broken flat obsidian. A broken tree made of flat black rock. To pyramidal dune. You have dead haunt. To the destroyed. To the obsidian. To the beginning of pyramid. To the. You have to shadow farm. To lake of sand. To skull. To the rock.
102.
You have grey skull shape. To lake of huts. Green and blue skull. To the ghost oak. Petra canopy higher to the upper roof. You have ledge. A ray of colored light shines from the fragment of the mirror and flows along the entire tunnel. To 10 feet. To 10. You let a ray of colored light shines from the fragment of the mirror. A ray of You let a ray of colored.
Let's try this. One more time.
You have ledge. Nathan remembers the ledge. He positions the piece of mirror on the wood so that it reflects the light that comes from outside into the tunnel. Like ledge, streams of lymph flow over the walls of the tunnel. To 40 feet.
Let's try this.
You have ledge. Various feathers decorate the room walls. Runes. Some runes have been painted. Chanting. To liken with.
Yeah.
You have grey. The grey witch looks scared. Nathan uses the blade of his sword to reflect the colored beam of light onto the woman. When the witch's skin is hit, the grey witch. With the witch now dead, the tunnel begins to tremble.
We're going to.
Nathan escapes towards the exit, while the wood tunnel closes like a healing wound. You petrified to skull-shaped branches on the left to skull-shaped stone.
104.
We're nearly finished, actually.
You have to the ghost oak, to lake of huts, to the beginning of. You have to shadow, to pyramidal, to lake of sand, to the crossroad, something, the crack side, cactus, tumble, saving, to shadow, to pyramidal dune, to lake, to the something, the crack side. Cactus, tumble, saving, you, to shadow, to pyramid, to lake, to the crossroad. You saving, boat, my knee, strip, sack, desert, floating, to the willow, to the square.
Here.
You, shop, ivy, shop. Nathan asks the shopkeeper if he can sell him something to disguise himself. The man. To room.
105.
You conjurer. To the square. To the throne. The throne room is eerily silent. Nobles and damsels watch the empty seat with apprehension as news spreads that their queen is under the influence of a curse.
Now.
The queen lies unconscious on the throne. Nathan arrives and hands the ivy seal to the old alchemist. The man puts the bracelet on the queen's wrist. The woman wakes up. The alchemist explains Nathan's accomplishments to the queen with far too much emphasis. The woman is struck by the courage of the man and declares that she will marry him immediately. But Nathan is a free spirit and has no intention of getting married. As he is surrounded again by the guards, however, he realizes that the queen does not care about his opinion. Nathan is dragged into a room to wait for the wedding preparations to be completed. You have reached to the main corridor. You have equestrian monsters. To the to the to the wine, to the pal window. Monster. To the to the damsel's room. To the winer. To the a circular room big enough to be divided into several small bedrooms by wood, and richly ornamented with floral motifs in their fretwork and overlays. A sweet perfume hangs in the air. You have draperies. To the main hooked to the ceiling. They divide the room into many separate spaces, each one with a bed and a nightstand for every damsel of the queen. Damsel Ariel, bed. Drapery, hooked to the ceiling. Damsel Ariel, bed. Blue, spindle, silk, dolls. To the main drapery. The girl smiles candidly at Nathan, and she shows him the flower she is watering, a pansy. She tells Nathan she would like another blue flower to put next to it. Drapery, to the main You have equestrian monster concubine window. To the to the winer, to the damsel's room, to the green.
Here.
You have bloody soul tape fountain, rack, flower, a long row of flower plants planted directly in the soil on the floor at the base of the wall. So many colors, shapes, and scents, they make Nathan feel a bit dizzy. To the main bloody soul, a bush full of big red berries. Nathan took what he needed. Long tables with a lot of bowls and plants of different shapes and dimensions. Fountain in an angle, a small fountain with a sink dirtied by soil and rotten leaves. Rack, a wooden rack with sacks of seeds, minerals used as fertilizer, and tools for gardening. Flower plants, a long row of flower plants planted directly in the soil on the floor at the base of the wall. So many colors, shapes, and scents, they make Nathan feel a bit dizzy. To the main You have to the greenhouse, to the dams, to the wine, to the windows, monster, equestrian, rock big monsters to the greenhouse, to the winer, to the damsel, to the winery, to the palace window.
110.
You wooden carpet, saving you plant ivy guard, ivy chandelier, an ivy bush guard, to the main, to the library, wooden, to the main corridor, to the library, wooden carpet. On the floor, a carpet which seems to be made of tiny...
Okay guys, I think I'm gonna stop here.
Tab 29, scenes window, controls window, pause recording checkbox not
If
checked.
you guys know what I missed, you can comment. Thank you.
Not checked.
Thank you for watching.
Scene source audio mixer window,
And see you
proving.
guys.
Scene transitions window, transition combo, duration spin button to add controls window, start streaming checkbox, stop recording checkbox.